You're listening to The Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
And improved your performance? That's Blue Chew. Go to BlueChew.com. They can help you get that swagger back. You know what I mean? It's a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. And now they also have Vardenafil mint-flavored chewables with the active ingredients in Levitra and Statsin, so you can stay
hard.
Yeah.
And fresh.
I don't know why you looked at me that way when you said it, because you'd be using it for someone else, not for me, Jonas. But there are plenty of options for you guys out there that find your way to that hard and freshness. You know what I'm talking about. Those tablets, they're performance enhancement for the bedroom, and they can help you gain that extra confidence when it's time to perform. Don't like swallowing pills? That's all right, because these are chewable tablets, and they also will talk to you with a licensed medical provider to work with you to find.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you were playing fullback up there. And I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. And you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to recruit you, and our running back coach didn't take the test. biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Am I coming through?
Yes, you are. You're good to go.
Are you with me?
Yes. Am I coming through?
Yes, you're coming through.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning. It is a free-for-all Friday powered by the pharmacy. It's Alabama. One day before Alabama, Oklahoma, as we get ready to kick things off. Can I hit some crazy recruiting news before we kick this thing off and get into Alabama, Oklahoma? A lot of flips going on, or decommitments and commitments. Number one quarterback in the country, Bryce Underwood, has flipped from LSU to Michigan. Reports are it is over $10 million in NIL that has been promised. For those who don't know, Barstool Sports owner Dave Portnoy is a big Michigan fan, and he's put a lot of money into their NIL. Then you look at another guy who has reclassified before the start of his junior year, quarterback Julian Lewis. He decommitted from USC earlier this week. He is now committed to Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. So that's two big flips on the quarterback side. And just a little news for Alabama fans. Mason Dunn, a four-star cornerback who's been committed to Ole Miss for a while, has been projected to flip to Alabama. Oh, wait. And LSU's class might fall apart because not only has Underwood flipped, but their five-star wide receiver, Derek Meadows, who was at one point considering Alabama, has been predicted to flip to Michigan as well.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you put all your stock in some of these kids and then you let them become the face of your recruiting class, because I don't think it's going to happen at Alabama, but had the wheels come off and everything, and, our big recruit all of a sudden decide to go somewhere else and had convinced these guys to come play with him. So I'm not surprised that, a wide receiver is leaving. But I think Kelly is shooting himself in the foot with his whiny baby stuff. So I think he is. He beat Alabama and it gave LSU and everybody this false sense of, I think, what type of coach he was and how good he was. He had a Heisman Trophy winner that was 28 years old. So, like I said, I think that LSU wouldn't be surprised if they lose more if that receiver decommits, then other guys start decommitting, and right. They fool around and get beat this week by Vanderbilt. Wobble, 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 baby. The wheels
it might get ugly down in the bayou.
Yep. So, but anyway, anything else you got on that?
No, but hey, just remember I said yesterday that this is going to be one of those things. These next 12 days now, there's going to be a lot of flips, a lot of movement going on as the money gets upped. And Michigan is coming after Ty Haywood, our five-star tackle. But from everything I've heard and seen, he's locked in with Bama. I think they gave Underwood a little too much money to be able to pull some other big name guys this late.
Yeah, I just don't see the I guess the making the money work type of thing is going to be the interesting thing for these colleges and things, because you would think if the kid's that good and it's a $10 million bounty X, is that a 4-year deal? Because what's the likelihood if he's as good as he's projected, you're not going to have him for 4 years anyway, right? So is he coming in with this as a 10-year deal or is this a signing bonus? I think these teams, because you're only going to end up with a bunch of these guys on your team. See, what people aren't thinking through is right now Tennessee has an $8 million quarterback and they may miss the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is you're going to start seeing business deals down the road. It's only going to get like crazier and worse because there is no market management system. And what I mean by that is in almost all the major sports, not almost, they have caps. They have, they have what they call slotting and, each league is a part of it. So you won't have in the NFL, they don't just come out with some random number. If that makes sense. Like I remember in baseball a few years back, many moons back, when I think it was the Yankees who offered Alex Rodriguez or somebody just this crazy number, and it was like $100 million more than anybody was paying at that time. Well, that reset the model for everybody. And so now you have one school that may have 10 billionaires and another school that may have 1 billionaire and one that may not have any. And this is not based on the helmet, the logo on the side of the helmet.
No.
Could Alabama get priced out? Because Alabama doesn't have any billionaires, I don't think, in their alumni base. Auburn has a couple. So if it gets into this bidding war and it gets crazy like that, man, like I said, I just don't think I'm fine with kids getting paid, but I think they're going to find that these kids haven't learned how to work for money, a lot of them, and the money is going to ruin these kids. I hadn't seen it yet, but I think it could happen.
Oh, 100%. I definitely think it's going to be a situation. Because as you said, remember back in the day, like if you go back to before Cam Newton was drafted, you had these crazy rookie contracts, especially that quarterbacks would get, where they, $70 million and they hadn't proved a thing at that level. And so you put teams in bad financial situations if that guy was a bust. You were paying him $70 million off rip. And then when 2011, when Cam got drafted, that's when they started the slotting model. And it
always had the slotting model. They just capped the rookies.
Well, yeah, they capped the rookie slot where depending on where you were drafted, you can 20 minutes. Now that's still gotten crazy because you go from Cam to Caleb Williams. I think it's like a $15-20 million difference in their contracts. So it's starting to get back to that point because they keep upping it. But
the other guys' levels going up.
Right.
And what I mean, the veterans' money is going up too. So what was going on was you had a rookie come in and he gets $70 million. You had a guy who would help you make it to, win games, be on your team, and all that stuff, and you were paying him $20 million. Right. And he had proven his loyalty and his worth. And I think you're going to start seeing it. And that's what I mean by that, actually. You're going to have a $10 million freshman, okay? But the guys who protect him, all these other guys, you're going to see them, and they're going to be like, whoa, where's mine? I went through this. I was on the national championship team. This is my 3rd year starting, and now you're going to pay this kid how much a year? And he going to be here 3, and I already been here 3 years. So that's the part that I think is going to get crazy. And hey, maybe when they get this $22 million through this settlement, they're going to be able to take care of all of these guys. But it could be interesting. We'll get to break here. Coming back on the other side, we'll jump into some Alabama conversation. Remember, this is a free-for-all Friday brought to you by the Pharmacy at Midtown. You listen to the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Hello and happy Friday to you. We're getting off to a light note. If you're traveling along the freeways or side streets, what you're going to find is, of course, construction work. And we've got that on 2059 on the southwest lanes at Joe Malisham, but no delays as of right now.
Powered teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment
.com or Town Square Media Tuscaloosa radio websites. Fill out the Advertise Here form. Put the power of Town Square Media to work for your business.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com, or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sunny, breezy, and very cool today. The high 52. For tonight, the sky clear. Many spots will see a freeze early tomorrow morning. The low at 32. Tomorrow and Sunday, sunny both days. A warming trend. The high tomorrow 58. The high Sunday 65. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 35 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We're live, local, ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama Sports, Tide 100.9 and 1230 AM WTBC. Hey, don't forget to mark the date, save the date, February 20th for the Live to Lead conference hosted at the Bryant Conference Center by Empowerment Strategies and Solutions. It's going to be an awesome half-day leadership journey. Invite you to get in on it. You can go to martinhouston.org, click Live to Lead, and reserve your individual ticket for $70, or you can reserve a table, 8 tickets, $400, huge discount there if you're bringing a group. Doesn't have to be a company. It can be you and 7 other people that get together. Live to Lead. We'll be talking about the abundant mindset. We'll talk about how conflict can lead to your peace, amongst other great topics that will help you live to lead. That's the Live to Lead conference powered by Empowerment Strategies and Solutions. Go to martinhouston.org and click Live to Lead to find out more details or to register today.
All right, welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. We have moved off of recruiting, and we are now going to talk a little Bama, Oklahoma, as we get ready to take on the Sooners tomorrow at 6:30. Go ahead and complete this statement. We're going to keep it. Jalen Milroe will do what tomorrow?
Well, they can get to the caller. I think we had a caller waiting that wanted to answer it. Let's go ahead and get them.
Okay. Then, we have J-Rob joining us, and he'll answer that as well as give his score prediction. And remember, for the score prediction, it's total yards for Oklahoma. J-Rob, welcome into the show.
Happy Friday. How you guys doing?
Hey, happy Friday. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Hey, I don't think I think this is just going to be life in recruiting from now on. I mean, until they get some sort of binding contract for each side, not only for the player, but for the school also, there's not going to be, it'll be hopping around like that until they do something like that. What do y'all think about that?
Well, I mean, there's been fewer flips this year than there normally is.
Yeah.
It just kind of started happening, though, with LSU, and we had 3 to kind of flip. And I think it's all about money, to tell you the truth.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's been as many flips this year as there normally is.
Well, it just seems like it, I guess.
I think it's the names at the top that are flipping.
Yeah. And the other part is, I think that it's just so you notice it because you hear, like, if this kid had just flipped, we may talk about it, but we wouldn't be like he's flipping for $10 million reportedly.
Ain't blaming.
That's what makes it, crazy. But, and I don't, like I said, anyone that blame the kids, I mean, anybody that's on this show listening to us, if you blaming the kid, you're not honest with yourself. If someone, you could love your employer right now. But if somebody came up and offered you, remember, you're working now, and whatever your salary is, they come up and double it. And you've not played, or it's not even, you hadn't even played for this team. It's literally you're getting hired and you're getting 2 offers, J-Rob. These kids haven't played for Alabama yet. I mean, or LSU or whatever. I get it. I get the kid side and all the people who talk about this, all of the, to me, I call it us arrogant folks that call it loyalty. We're a little arrogant to think fandom and players are different. Okay. Fandom and players are different. Let me say that one more time. Being a fan of a team and playing for a team is different. I grew up an Auburn fan. I went to 6 or more Auburn games every single year. Okay. J-Rob, but we didn't commit early back then. Okay. So, but if we had committed early, I probably would have committed to Auburn early. Right. Two things happened. I had never been to an Alabama game till my senior year, and all of those games in Birmingham because they were redoing the stadium. Number 2 was Auburn. After all of that time of recruiting me, you hear Coach Dye say it all the time. Coach Casey thought I was a step too slow. Okay. So he wanted me to walk. He knew I liked Auburn, so he wanted me to walk on at Auburn. But the first time I saw Alabama play, I did not say a word because we didn't talk about it publicly. It wasn't all this recruiting. First time I saw Alabama play, they played Florida at Legion Field and got mud stomped by Emmitt Smith and a defensive back, Lewis Oliver. And I said, I think I want to go play for this school. So I started watching him. Then a guy from North Carolina State started recruiting me, and he didn't recruit me on football. He recruited me on computer science and on the tech side of things, and said, man, if you're going to choose football, go there. But if you want to still run the ball in our wishbone offense and you want to get a degree that you're going to make more money than all of these guys that you're playing with, you need to come to NC State. And it worked. The only reason I didn't go to NC State was that it snowed on my official visit, the day before my official visit, and I didn't get to go. Thank you, God. But
yeah,
but you see what I'm saying? People don't understand God. But now I don't like Auburn because I played at Alabama. But had I not played at Alabama, I'd probably be an Auburn fan today.
Whew. Man. Oh, you been off. What do you think about that?
J-Rob, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. My dad said this about me and my brother, and he would have said it about my sisters as well. Growing up, if Auburn had offered us a scholarship,
oh yeah,
and there was a caveat: Alabama didn't offer a scholarship. But if Auburn offers us a scholarship, and then in today's era where I have a son growing up, if Auburn was to offer a scholarship and a certain amount of money, it would be hard pressed for me not to tell him to go take that opportunity over coming to Bama.
Can't blame me. Can't blame you. Well, let me give y'all a score, and then I'm going to answer your question. My score is 36-13. And 245 total yards for them.
Okay.
And my answer to the Jalen Milroe finished statement, Jalen Milroe will continue to deliver. Y'all have a great weekend. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
All right, Jay, I appreciate you. But yeah. I mean, it's an interesting conversation around that, but we'll go ahead and get to break, and when we come back on the other side, we'll deep dive into the game. And remember, you can join us on the Empowerment Strategy Solution hotline at 205-342-9904.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Hello and happy Friday to you. We're getting off to a light note. If you're traveling along the freeways or side streets, what you're going to find is, of course, construction work. And we've got that on 2059 on the southwest lanes at Joe Malisham, but no delays as of right now.
$1 in value, so you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Dixie Battery Supply takes care of all of your battery needs. Find the commercial batteries you're after and never feel powerless again. Come check out our Northport and Tuscaloosa locations or call us at 205-758-9190. And once again, power up all your devices by using Dixie Battery Supply, DixieBatterySupply.com.
The place to be. Visit us now to save big and discover why so many are switching to BMW. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Visit the pharmacy at Midtown. That's the pharmacy at midtown.com. TJ and his team are looking for the opportunity to provide you with great services, including compounding, home delivery, and a whole lot more. If you're looking for a great pharmacy that'll take care of all of your needs, including wellness classes, including health, and more, that's the pharmacy at Midtown. Call them at 205-579-9933. If you're looking for a great pharmacy, you need to try the pharmacy at Midtown. That's the pharmacy at Midtown, pharmacy at midtown.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Hey, it's the Christmas holiday season, but we're also running up on Thanksgiving, and want to encourage you to make sure that during the Christmas holiday season and Thanksgiving that you're both grateful, kind, and loving. Also want to remind you that you can get your Christmas gear. I'll excuse me, provide you with a few more samples, but I got some great caps, hoodies, sweatshirts that all feature Bama, the Bama logo with the script A in it, with a little holiday season to it. So if you're going to any Christmas parties, stand out and be the class of the show. Not ugly sweater, but Bama sweaters. Go to athletesthread.com. That's athletesthread.com /collections /Martin-Houston. and get your officially licensed Christmas holiday sweatshirts, gear, and swag. And if you're watching the video, just click on the, not click, but scan the QR code. Thanks.
All right, so getting into Alabama versus Oklahoma, Bam Bam has brought it up, what I wanted to hit on first, and that is he says he sees Oklahoma is down another wide receiver. Man, they have been snake bit all year with the injuries. Not sure I've seen a team lose so many players at one position. And what he's talking about is they are guys that were officially listed out when the availability report first came out, where it's wide receiver Jaden Gibson, wide receiver Nick Anderson, wide receiver Andrell Anthony, and then wide receiver Deion Burks was listed as doubtful. And as of last night, he was officially listed as out. And the crazy thing about that's their top 4 wide receivers coming into the season. Guys that they were expecting a lot from. Burks, a transfer from Purdue. Anderson averaged like 20-something catches a year last year. Really explosive guy. And then Gibson and Anthony as well. So Bama is going into this game with them missing 3 offensive linemen, 4 wide receivers for sure. And then they've got another offensive lineman and a running back that are questionable for the game. This reminds me, what year was – we had the year a couple years ago where all the running backs got hurt. And then we had a few years before that where it was like every linebacker got hurt. Dylan Moses, Terrell Lewis, and other guys. It was one more guy at the linebacker position. But, man, your top 4 wide receivers have missed the majority of the season. And so that's why I don't know if it's fair to say that Brent Venables should be on the hot seat with the injuries that this team has sustained.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. And, of course, when Alabama wins this game in dominant fashion, that'll be the narrative that everybody will say, because that's why we beat Missouri the way we did. And I get it, and that's fine. But, yeah, they have definitely been bit is a nice way to say it.
Yeah, and so I think it's going to be interesting. I think this is what's really going to give Alabama the edge, especially defensively. Now, their defense has their guys available, and they'll put up a good fight. But, man, I just don't know if they'll be able to move the ball offensively when you're that depleted, along the offensive line against this defensive front. I hope Womack keeps it up. The blitzing coming after the quarterback, and then not really having playmakers on the outside to affect the game in the way that you would like for them to be able to. But we know Arnold and the running back room is pretty solid. So maybe they'll still be able to make it somewhat competitive, not too competitive though. But we have Robert joining us, and we'll continue this conversation. How you doing, Robert?
Hey, guys. Hey, Martin, I just wanted to let you know that the Alabama fans have forgiven you for once thinking you were an Auburn Tiger fan. Everybody has those moments.
Hey, Robert,
young.
You know what I tell everybody, Robert? When people give me a hard time, I go, listen, man, I grew up an Auburn fan. I came to Alabama. I grew up a Cowboys fan, went to the Steelers. I grew up a sinner and got saved. So as long as I end up on the right team, I'm okay.
There you go. All is forgiven. Hey, you made a great point earlier, as you usually do, about the the loyalty and all that, and it's like. When Isaiah Bond did it, he's the most famous one recently that just got everybody all up in their arms over as if somehow he did something illegal or immoral. And I think, well, folks, no, it's not illegal. It's not immoral. It's just one choice over another. You can't, if he made a choice you think you wouldn't have made, again, until somebody throws, like Mike Tyson once said famously, Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah, you think you wouldn't make that choice. You think you're loyal to Alabama until somebody backs up a truckload of money. And then that loyalty gets tested really good. And that's much loyalty. Again, it's just one choice versus another. I'm loyal. I like Alabama. I'm loyal. But, hey, I'm not going to turn his money down because of some sense of loyalty. There's nothing immoral about going to somebody. I mean, I've had to face this myself in my career. In fact, I had one boss that straight up.
Let me ask you a question. Why did you go to college? What was your purpose in going to college?
To make money.
Okay. All right. So you went to college to make money. And if you had, some people do, if you had a preference of what degree you were going to get, then you would choose that school, the school you go to, based off of the school that you think is going to give you the best degree to ultimately make the most money, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, say it comes down and there's 100 schools that's after you, but it's 3 or 4 that's all like really you're trying to decide, and everything being similar, nothing is the same, but the exact same, but in the same category, and you really don't have a way to, which one of these engineering schools do I want to go to? And one of them all of a sudden comes up and says, you know what? Instead of you waiting 4 years and possibly waiting on, Tesla to hire you to come help them build out their new electrical vehicle, we're going to go ahead and give you $10 million up front to come to our school. And after that, if Tesla still wants to hire you, good. What you going to do? I mean, people act like these kids are getting money that you and I, let's say we come out of college and we come out day one making $100,000 a year, just right off the bat, and it grows. And after 10 years, we're now at 200,000. So we've made $1 million. The next 2 years we'll make. The next 10 years we'll make $2 more million. So after 20 years we would have made $3 million. Okay. And Uncle Sam would have got half of that. But you want these kids to not entertain the fact that they can get money that would change their life forever if they never finish college. They have their talent, just like your gifting in engineering or whatever, art or whatever, gets you an open door. When we dare think of telling the kids, and I hate Hollywood, by the way, but when we dare to tell a kid, hey, wait till you're an adult before you go act. And then
that's insane.
Huh?
That's insane. Of course nobody's going to do that. and the people who make these arguments all know that in a similar situation they would make the same decision. It's just, I tell you what, Alabama fans, the biggest issue with a lot of them, I don't have that problem, but a lot of them is right now what they totally torched Cam Newton for, back in 2010. That they made him the scum of college football for. It's now prevalent and legal. It's now, and Manziel too. They hate the Manziel also. For this also reason. That's this convoluted reason that somehow athletes should never get paid. But even, I never had a problem even with Cam. To this day, Cam Newton says he didn't get paid. Right now, he can be honest about it. So I tend to believe him. Hey, there's no reason to be dishonest now. You still saying that? Okay, I guess you didn't. But I didn't have a problem getting paid back then. That's like, I don't care. This guy's got talent. Of course, he should be slipped something under. Should he be slipped a little something? So I didn't care then. But that's what they hate the most. That talking point they had against Cam Newton is completely gone and completely irrelevant. And right now, you really have to reason to hate Cam Newton for that money thing, because you know what? Everybody's doing it out in the open now. I think that's what gets a lot of them. I've had a similar situation too. I've had a boss that straight up asked, I work for a smaller company, straight up asked me, Gary, are you going to leave? I knew I wanted to because I wanted more money. But, you know, I kind of obfuscated around it. That's why I'm blaming Nick Saban for, you know, leaving what he said. You know, not being quite truthful about leaving. Because, hey, I mean, I know what I really want to do. I know what I didn't want to stay. I knew they couldn't afford me. I knew something better offers was coming. But it was, you know, I felt sorry for him. But, hey, I can't refuse this money. so that's how it goes.
Yep. Don't trade time for money. So if you can go and get the money up front earlier in the process, and it doesn't cost you to compromise your values, X, take it. If it fits. Now, don't compromise your values or break the law.
Exactly. Right.
Break the law, right? But you know, if you trade that time for money, you need to understand that if that's what you're doing. Time is an invaluable asset. Money can be redeemable and made back. Time can't. So, and these kids only have 3, 4, 5 years. Well, they used to. Now they may have 20 to play college, but who knows? But 3, 4, 5 years to maximize their earning, and they need to maximize it without compromising. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you read my score before I go. I think I told Ryan 43. I went 43-13. I think it's going to be a repeat. Oh, it's 42-13. I think 42-13. I think it's going to be a repeat of what happened in LSU. And totally off for Oklahoma. I can't believe I'm saying Oklahoma's not going to make 300 yards on anybody. That's just unbelievable. But I'm going to go 235. Yeah, I just can't believe what's happening with Oklahoma offense. All right, guys.
As usual, appreciate it, Robert X.
All right, appreciate you, Robert. Hey, we got Ellis. We'll get Ellis before we get to the break. How you doing this morning, Ellis?
Just fine, fellas. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good.
Can't complain.
A little bit on the chilly side this morning.
Yes, it is.
Up here in Big Orange Country, you know. I just like I told Chase this then, I think Alabama's playing their best ball right now. And I just don't foresee the future. I don't see them getting beat myself. If we keep playing like we're playing right now. And my score is 47-17 and 225 yards.
One more time.
What is the score?
47-17, 225.
All right, Ellis, we got you down, man. Hey, how do coaches go ahead, X.
All right, we'll go ahead and get to break. When we come back on the other side, we'll get into players of the game, things we want to see, and our score predictions on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. We've got a little something working on McFarland Boulevard now. This is on the eastbound lanes at Jug Factory Road. You want to watch out for heavy slow-goes in the area, or it could just be rush to work delays. In any event, we've also got some volume starting to kick it up a notch on Skyland Boulevard, and this would be in both the east and westbound lanes at 31st Palisade.
Or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
365 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow trucks, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's Move Over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside.
Who can sleep? Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Houston Hydrosteam. That's Houston Hydrosteam. Quality work you can stand on. Whether you're looking for carpet and upholstery cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, residential or commercial water damage, and a whole lot more, you need to call Houston Hydrosteam at 205-553-9460, 553-9460, or visit them online at HoustonHydrosteam.com. And once again, Houston Hydrosteam is quality work you can stand on.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier as we get ready to wrap up this week in this edition of the Martin Houston Show. We've talked a little bit about the game, but when we're looking at what we want to see from Alabama, I know a lot of people say just more of the same, but is there anything specific that you want to see Alabama be able to do tomorrow night in Norman?
Well, with this defense, and they can get out the quarterback a little bit, I want to see our pass protection be better. So I want to see us reconnect on the deep balls again. So that would be kind of the two things that I think that haven't seen the last couple of weeks. Part of it is, I think, game planning, and the other part, I think, was wet ball. But now that Jalen's healthy again, he's running great. The running backs, running game seems to be going. He's hitting the running backs out of the backfield. He's taking the underneath stuff to the tight ends. Man, he adds that deep ball back, and this team going into the playoffs will be tough to beat from an offensive side. That's what I have. What you got?
Yeah, I'm looking for the deep ball as well. As you said, everything else is going really good within the game plan. You throw that back in, and it might be all she wrote for opposing teams. Defensively, for me, I want our defense to still go out and play hard, play inspired football when we're looking at how this team is built and what they're going to be able to do with getting after the quarterback. Don't let these injuries, don't take your foot off the gas, because this team is depleted on that side of the ball. Go after them like you did in the Missouri game. So that's the real big things that I want to see defensively for this team. When we're looking at,
I would say, X, that we need to make sure that, like you said, take care of your business. I dog Indiana for their poor schedule, but the one thing I have to give kudos to that coach for is they have taken care of business and dominated the teams they're supposed to dominate.
Yep. Hey, and speaking of Indiana, that's another former Saban guy. So no love up there for Kirk Cignetti doing his thing. Well, who are you looking at to make the plays of the game on the offensive side of the ball?
I'm still waiting on to see Law. It's like they are trying, since the break, they are trying to get him back involved. Right. And so I hope that I see that turn positive this week. So I'm going to say K-Law has his best game in the Alabama uniform.
Yeah, I want to see them use him down the field a little bit, even if it's some out routes and things that, crossing routes, get him in space over the middle where he can use that physical frame that he's built like a running back. Let him catch that ball in space over the middle, make a linebacker miss, and get up on a safety. Get him involved in that way outside of just the speed sweeps, or if you're going to fake it, stick it in his gut, pull it out, and have him turn it up the field on one of these and dump it to him that way, when using guys like Bernard and Ryan to run guys off. For me,
and I would say really quick is, hand it to him on a speed sweep versus, where it's just full speed, full bore instead of just a reverse type. But I would say hit him out there in that bubble screen like we use Amari Cooper a lot. I would love to see him get the ball there with some good blocking too. Go ahead, X.
Yeah, offensively for me, I want to see it's with the deep ball. I want to see Ryan be able to get back and see if he can that little bit of a freshman slump. He's been good, but he kind of was breaking out of it against Mercer. But hey, let's get back to doing it against the top teams or the better teams in the country. Defensively, who do you want to see?
I want to see this defensive backfield continue to get better. I got to give a shout out. Bray Hubbard has blown my mind with how well he's playing. And once again, man, the Keon Saab injury, I should say, has proven to be a plus for Bama next year. So it's kind of crazy. Love it. Want to see those DBs and want to see the turnovers continue against the down defense. I don't want them to give up. So anything, and I think that's how they're going to try to hurt us. I don't think they're going to try to hurt us with the run.
Yeah, I want to see that defensive line pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. Oh, and just a note, since Hubbard entered the lineup, him and Malachi are the top safety duo among PFF ratings. So that just shows you the impact that he's had since he's been in. Any other thoughts on the game? What things that stand out to you that you want to see?
Still want to see our field goal kicker make a 50-plus yard field goal. I just think we're going to need that somewhere. So I still want to see that, and so because of that, I put a couple field goals in my score.
Okay. So speaking of score, what is your score?
I had it 41-17. And then I'm like, well, will they be off a little bit? And I went down to 34-17. So I'm back up to 48-17.
So you thought they'd be a little off, so you dropped it and then bumped it back up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Everybody has convinced me, our callers has convinced me that I was lowballing. Because, I'm usually the 50-60 guy. All right, go ahead. What's your score?
I'm going to go 45 to 20. My total yards, I'll say 268.
And my total yards was 280. Hey, listen, couple big games outside of Ohio State, Indiana. I'm picking Indiana for the upset. BYU and Arizona State is an interesting one because I think Colorado is going to be interested to watch that, which changes them from playing BYU if they were to upset that game. So that's 2 of the big games. Another big game X is Texas A&M and Auburn. Will Auburn slip up and beat A&M because they're looking ahead to Texas?
They will beat A&M, and then they'll set it up for A&M to just destroy Texas next week.
All right. Hey, we appreciate you being a part of the show. That's Xavier Houston. I'm Martin Houston. That's Chase Brumfield. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters for being part of the show. We'll be back on Monday to talk about the Big Bama win as they prepare to finish out the season 10-2 with a win over the Auburn Tigers. We'll break it down. We'll add Ken Smith III to the conversation. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not in your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide out to everybody. Come to church this Sunday at 10 a.m. Worship time and word and Bible study at 9. Roll Tide, everybody.